Books, film, music. Everyone has art forms that they can cite as being influential in their personal development, career, and character. Maybe you watched a Bruce Lee film, and it led you down the path of martial arts. Or you listened to a song that inspired you to make your own band. A book that made you want to tell your own story. But video games are not really often factored into this conversation. But the fact of the matter is that to some people, video games are an art form. They can be hugely influential in the road you take in life. In the following video, I'm going to talk about my top 5 games of all time, across all platforms, and why they mean so much to me. For them to have been included in this list means that not only do I think they're tremendous games, but have had a deep impact on my life that has changed the way I looked at it, done something about it, or just been so inspired by it in some form. So without further ado, top 5 games that changed my life. I absolutely loved the N64 as a kid, but my choice of games were always seemingly at odds with most people's fondest memories of it. I would always crave and obsess over the lesser known or more offshoot titles. Mischief Makers, Paper Mario 64, Jet Force Gemini. Heck, the first game I opted to buy was Yoshi's Story. But as I said, here we're talking about games that were more than just good games, but ones that influenced and somehow changed my life. But as far as the N64 goes, possibly none did it more than this blue spiky-haired fella. Mystical Ninja 64, starring Goman. Now, I absolutely love this game. This would have been the third N64 game I picked up around about the summer of 1998. Goman, I was already familiar with this character because I had the Super Nintendo game Legend of the Mystical Ninja, which the characters obviously are from. But when I saw these shots of this in the magazine, I was super excited because I absolutely loved the Super Nintendo game, and this was in 3D, and you could play a mechanical ninja. Yeah, and I remember playing it and being absolutely blown away by it. I think largely because this was one of the most striking things about this game. Obviously, when you first turn it on, you have no idea what you're going to expect. The J-pop song that hits you for the intro, well, this was my first sort of introduction to J-pop, and I had no idea what it was, but I knew that I liked it. And this is partly why the game was so influential to me. You see, Mystical Ninja 64 is so unapologetically Japanese. It has done very little to westernize itself, beyond the translation of the text and taking out some of the ruder parts. It is immersed in traditional feudal Japanese culture. It was the first time I was ever been exposed to such a thing. From the architecture, the clothing, the music, the insanely offbeat humour and dialogue, never before has the game made it so worthwhile to talk to every NPC character in a town. Where else would you find a game which features a character which tells you to go pee on your neighbour's furniture because they're out of town in business? What? Why? With the exception of its sequel, there's nothing like this on the N64. The story revolves around some theatrical bad dudes, aliens in a flying peach spaceship, and they want to turn the whole of Earth into a stage for their performance. What? The game opened me up to an appreciation and interest in Japanese culture that remains to this day. And before people say, it's only a video game, it can't be that real, I suggest watching Gauging Goomba's video that indeed confirms near enough everything in this franchise has its basis in Japanese history, tradition, or folktales. In addition, I feel that this game left a mark on me for the appreciation of my development as a comedy writer and actor, which of course makes up a huge part of who I am. Oh yeah, in terms of game mechanics, it's an awesome adventure game with RPG elements. So, it's for all these reasons, Mystical Ninja 64 is number 5 in my top 5 influential games of all time.